Hi, I'm Mohan from Green A Consultants, and today I will talk to you more about energy, where it comes from and how to save it. First, let's understand the challenges that Singapore faces in terms of energy use. We are a small country with a lack of natural resources and not enough land to generate all our energy requirements. That is why we import energy from other countries. Furthermore, we are unable to implement multiple sources of renewable energy, such as wind, because our wind speed is not high enough. It is about 2 meters per second, below the required wind speed for wind turbines of at least 4.5 meters per second. 95% of Singapore's electricity is generated from natural gas. As for the other remaining sources, it comes from energy sources such as coal, petroleum, and solar. Natural gas is a gas that consists of methane, carbon dioxide, and is found deep underground and in under oceans. Singapore sources its natural gas from countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, and Qatar. Natural gas is a type of fossil fuel, and this is formed from the remains of dead animals and plants. Layers of this decomposing plant and animal matter is exposed to intense heat and pressure underground, and it turns into gas. But what is the history behind using natural gas in Singapore? And how did we get here? Singapore first opened the St. James Power Station in 1926, and it supplied electricity using coal to nearby ports and shipyards. Fuel oil then became Singapore's main fuel source in 1940s. In 2000s, Singapore then switched into using natural gas as our main source of electricity generation. To reduce the amount of emissions produced, Singapore decided to adopt natural gas as it is more efficient. It is a more efficient fuel compared to coal, oil, and gas. Coal is one of the cheapest electricity sources in Singapore and is available in huge quantities. It is abundant, but it still has a lot of problems. Coal emits a lot of carbon dioxide, which causes global warming, acid rain, and ocean acidification. In addition, it releases other airborne toxins such as mercury, lead, sulfur dioxide, and this could also lead to health problems such as asthma, heart problems, and cancer. To reduce the amount of emissions produced, Singapore decided to adopt natural gas. On the other hand, natural gas is a relatively cleaner fossil fuel. It results in fewer emissions of carbon dioxide and other pollutants. Natural gas can be used to produce heat and generate electricity simultaneously. But beyond just natural gas, Singapore is exploring different ways to build up our energy generation capacity. One such way is solar energy. Since Singapore is a tropical country with sunshine all year round, solar energy is abundant. Solar energy is about using the energy of the sun to produce electricity with no emissions, and is an environmentally friendly source of energy. Using sunlight, which is a natural resource that is replenished over time, solar energy is a renewable energy that is absorbed by solar panels such as PV cells. In Singapore, solar panels can be found in HDB roofs, schools, and yes, even on reservoirs. Singapore is aiming to have its energy needs increasingly met by solar energy. It was about 0.56% in 2020, but we aim to bring this up to 4% by 2030, and this will mean that we power at least 350,000 households by then. However, having solar energy is not the foolproof solution to meet our energy needs. There are still limitations. Solar energy depends on whether there is a clear blue sky. In Singapore, we only have about 5 hours of daily sunlight average across the year, after accounting for rainy weather. Therefore, if there is a cloud covering the solar panels from the sunlight, solar energy supply will be irregular. Unfortunately, in Singapore, Most land is occupied by buildings, roads, and green spaces. Therefore, new solar panel installations can only then be on buildings, rooftops, and facades, and floating installations on reservoirs, sea areas, and such. Therefore, we will also need to reduce our individual energy consumption. Unfortunately, Singapore's energy consumption has been increasing by about 2 to 3% almost every year. In our household, energy consumption has also increased 20% within the last decade. With more electricity being consumed, more carbon dioxide will also be released into the air. This increases the threat of global warming and climate change. Truthfully, almost 40% of Singapore's emissions come just from energy production. So, some may ask, since we have renewable energy, why should we then reduce our energy usage? As the world moves towards a post-COVID-19 pandemic, global economic recovery, energy demand is increasing. And faced with the threat of possible energy supply disruptions from Europe, the global supply of natural gas is encountering huge ups and downs. Besides that, electricity prices are also becoming more expensive. Let's take the monthly average household consumption of a HDB 4-room flat as an example. The average electricity bill in March 2021 was around $103. However, electricity prices are becoming more expensive. Just within the year, the electricity bill went up by 21%. To avoid energy in Singapore from cutting off, Singapore is taking additional steps to set up standby fuel facilities for power generation companies to utilize if extra electricity is needed. As Singapore protects our energy market, it is important that we as individuals too conserve energy. So what is contributing to our household energy consumption? Based on the household consumption survey in 2012, the air conditioning system represents about 36% of our energy consumption. As temperature increases due to global warming, more electricity will then be needed to bring our temperatures down in our houses. Water heaters also take up a large significant portion of our energy consumption, which is about 21%. And this represents the second most energy intensive household equipment. Third on the list is refrigerators for cooling food and drinks, and this takes up almost 18% of energy too. So, what can we as individuals do to reduce our energy in our house? First of all, we can look at energy labels. On electrical appliances, you will find an energy label such as this. The electricity label was first introduced by NEA in 2008. The label helps to identify energy efficient models, which can be applied in air conditioners, refrigerators, clothes dryers, televisions, and lamps. To save electricity, we should purchase appliances with more ticks, which illustrate a high energy efficiency of the appliance. In this example, the appliance has achieved a very good rating with a total of 4 ticks. The watermark ticks indicate the total number of ticks that can be attained for an electrical appliance. Let's take a look at another example. Right on the top of the label, we could clearly see a 3 ticks label, which suggests that the equipment has good energy efficiency. For refrigerators, it only has a maximum of 4 ticks, but not 5. Next, the energy cost of $100. It is a rough estimate based on how frequent this appliance is being used and the typical energy consumption of this product. Then, the brand and the model number can be seen next. Now, on the right side, the annual energy consumption is measured in kilowatt hours. Kilowatt hours is a unit measurement to determine the amount of energy consumed in 1 hour. It is also the same unit used to calculate your electricity bill. You can also find additional information such as the type and the size of the electrical device. Since January 2022, electrical appliances such as air conditioners, refrigerators, and dryers must now achieve a mandatory minimum of 2 ticks instead of just 1 tick. But wait, do electrical appliances with more ticks save money in the long run? Well, while air conditioners with more ticks may cost more at the point of purchase, in the long run, in terms of electricity bills, air conditioners with more ticks will help to incur less expenses as compared to an air conditioner with fewer ticks. This equates to a 3-tick air conditioner saving about $1,666 as compared to a 2-tick air conditioner. A key step to saving electricity lies in the light bulb we choose to use. Here are 3 common light bulbs. First, incandescent light bulbs emit light by heating the wire inside the light bulb. This light bulb may be cheap, however, it uses a lot of electricity, is less bright, and has a shorter lifespan. Another common light bulb is the fluorescent light bulb, which creates light by triggering a chemical reaction within the light bulb. Although it is more energy efficient compared to the incandescent light bulb, it still requires almost double the amount of energy output to produce the same brightness as an LED. LED light, on the other hand, illuminates when electricity passes through a microchip. It is more expensive compared to the 2 light bulbs. However, it has a longer lifespan and uses the least amount of electricity to achieve the same brightness. To purchase a LED light bulb, it is important to understand how to read it. In this example, we can see the wattage. Wattage tells us how energy efficient a light bulb is. The lower the number, the more energy efficient the light bulb is. In this example, the LED bulb achieves 14.5 watts, which is much more energy efficient compared to an incandescent light bulb, which can go up to 60 watts. Next, for lumens, it tells us how bright a light bulb is. More lumens tell you that it is a brighter light, but fewer lumens tell you that it is a dimmer light. As for Kelvin, K, it describes the light appearance provided by the light bulb. The higher the Kelvin value, the bluer the light will be. To move Singapore towards an energy efficient country, all energy inefficient light bulbs will be phased out in 2023. And all light bulbs sold in Singapore will have to be energy efficient as LED. Besides choosing appliances with more ticks or switching to LED light bulbs, we can follow some easy energy saving tips. First of all, we could use a fan instead of an aircon to cool us. We can do this about one time every week. A fan uses 10 times less electricity as an air conditioner. And this can save us about $384 a year, assuming a single split 2-tick aircon. Next, with Singapore's hot climate, an aircon may seem like the necessity we need, but we can save energy by setting the aircon temperature to a minimum of 25 degrees Celsius. Based on NEA's guidelines, for every degree you raise in the aircon's temperature, you can also save up $25 a year. Also, we should avoid switching the aircon for a long period of time and then switch to a fan. Finally, we know that it can be inconvenient to go the extra mile to switch off plugs when not in use, but leaving appliances like computers or speakers on standby power can suck a large amount of power and count up to about 10% of home electricity use. Next, let's watch a video by NEA on how to save energy.
There are many ways to save electricity. You can do these.
We have some rain coming up in the forecast, so you're going to need some cover on this. Let's take a look at what the rest.
We can do this. Or you can simply do these. Save electricity is easy.
We have now come to the end of our webinar. Thank you for your participation. Meanwhile, please like and share the Terra 2236 Facebook page. Download Terra 2236 from Google Play or App Store and learn more about sustainability efforts in energy, water, and waste. Thank you.